Hello everyone and welcome to i-nastava. My name is Ankica Šarić and I'm going to be your teacher today.
This is an English lesson for the 4th grade high school students. We are going to deal with the topic of environmentally friendly behavior, which I'm sure you already know a lot about. In this lesson, you are going to talk about environment using new vocabulary. You're also going to address some environmental issues, watch a video about sustainable city, as well as analyze the impact our way of life has on the community we live in. For this lesson, you will need your notebook, something to write with, and a smartphone or a laptop with internet connection. In order to do some exercises, you will have to pause the video. When you see the pause button on the screen, it will be your signal to pause the recording in order to do some exercises. We'll start this lesson with some environmental vocabulary that will be used today. You can practice the pronunciation, spelling, and the use of new words using this quiz. There are a lot of different exercises and games you can choose from, or you can do all of them. It's up to you. Just scan the code or copy the bit.ly link and quiz and have fun learning the new vocabulary. I'm sure you're quite familiar with these words now, and it won't be a problem for you to use them in your own sentences. Pick 5 words and write your own sentences or even a dialogue. Be sure to include some of the words that are new to you. Once you're done, check your writing with your virtual classroom teacher. So far, we have talked mostly about environmental problems. Let's talk about solutions. Let's concentrate on positive behavior. How would you define environmentally friendly behavior? These words will help you with the definition. Pause the video here and write it down. Environmentally friendly behavior is behavior that minimizes harm to the environment as much as possible, or even benefits it. Or to put it simply, you avoid doing bad and try doing only good things. There are 3 categories that we can address when talking about green behavior. We can talk about green business, the importance of green behavior in our communities, or we can talk about ourselves as individuals. What's our role in it? What we as individuals can do. Today, we are mostly going to concentrate on ourselves and our community. Let's start with a question. How can we develop green mindset in today's world? Think of some environmentally friendly activities we can do. How many ideas did you come up with? I would like you to read this text now and find more ideas about how to become more environmentally friendly. Pick 10 different ways that you think you could actually do, things that are doable. It should look something like this. I will buy food locally. This way, I'm supporting local farmers. Carbon footprint is reduced because the food doesn't need to be transported from far away. I could also reduce carbon footprint if I decide to grow my own food in my backyard or on my balcony. Copy the bit.ly link, Green Mindset 21, or scan the code and do the exercise. You may pause the video here. So far, most of the sustainable behavior we mentioned was connected with what individuals can do. And I have promised you that we will talk about what communities can do as well. Do you recognize the skyline and the buildings on the photos? Where can you see them? You're right. Burj Al Arab, Burj Khalifa, the Palm, a man-made island. All of this you can see in Dubai. Now, is Dubai a place which we associate with sustainable behavior? Probably not. Well, you will be surprised. In Dubai, you can see an eco-friendly town. In this exercise, you will watch a video and answer some questions. Before watching the video, read the questions first. Then copy the bit.ly link Sustainable City 21 or scan the code. Try not taking notes while watching. It is better if you make them after watching the video. See how much you can remember. Pause the video now and make notes about sustainable town. Let's compare our answers. Villas are facing north because this way you get shade and the costs of air conditioning are lower. They have also used UV reflective paint in order to deflect sunshine and reduce the heat. Another thing they do in this town is using grey water, which they of course treat first. They use it for irrigation and in water features. As expected, solar energy is used for producing electricity for the whole town. Swimming pools are essential in Dubai for understandable reasons. The water there is filtered. This way they are saving a lot of water. Even their landscape is sustainable. They plant trees and shrubs which go well together. These trees and shrubs produce fruit as well. And last but not least, they have made their own outdoor furniture from the construction waste. As for how they achieve their economic and social sustainability, well, with the money they get from renting, they pay for the service and maintenance fees. We also have to mention that they have proof for their sustainability. While the rest of the world produces 7 metric tons of carbon dioxide, they produce less than half of it per person on a yearly basis. How would you give advice or make suggestions on how to help the environment? How would you express our obligation towards the environment? Would you use some of these words? Modal verbs. If you wanted to give advice or make a suggestion, which of these modal verbs would you use? So when we want to suggest something or give advice, we use ought to, should, or shouldn't. We just need to put these models in front of the verb and the meaning immediately changes. Instead of saying, turn off the light when you leave the room, we can change this sentence into an advice by simply using modal verbs. So, you ought to or you should turn off the light when you leave the room. We can also use the negative form. You shouldn't leave the light on when you leave the room. Which modal verbs can be used to express our obligations? Must, mustn't, and have to, of course. So, we will use must, mustn't, and have to stress that something is our obligation. Have to and must are very similar in meaning. Must is more personal. We must be more active locally in environmental projects. This is what I feel. Have to is impersonal. It's more general. You have to recycle if you want to be environmentally responsible. That's a fact. Of course, we can use the negative forms as well. You mustn't throw plastic bags into the sea. There are two more models to introduce. Can and cannot. We can use them to say what we are able to do in order to help the environment. You may say something like this. You can reuse glass bottles in order to produce less litter. Or, you cannot leave the water running while brushing your teeth. It is your turn now. In this quiz, you will use models in order to talk about our obligations or give advice on environmental problems. This will be a piece of cake for you now, I'm sure. Copy the bit.ly link, moda.ka, or scan the code and do the exercise. In the activity called Environmental Island, you will combine your knowledge about environmental problems and solutions and modal verbs. You will use some of the new vocabulary we did in this lesson as well. In this task, you will turn a tourist island into an environmental island. The drawing part can be done with a pencil or you can use an online tool, Autor. It is very useful and easy to use tool. You can pick Auto Draw function from the menu, and once you start drawing, it will recognize what it is supposed to be and offer you some ready-made drawings. After drawing an outline of a tourist island, add all kinds of places and features you think should be on the island. Tourist attractions, transportation, buildings, markets, landscapes, weather conditions, animals, plants, and so on. When you finish drawing the island, think of as many environmental problems this tourist island might have and then give solutions in the form of advice using modal verbs. You have examples of possible problems and solutions around the island drawn by one of my students. Once you're done with the task, check what you have written with your virtual classroom teacher. Have fun with the task. And your last activity. Which 3 things have you learned today? What are 2 things you would like to learn more about? And what is the one question you still have? Send your answers to your virtual classroom teacher. This is all for today. Till next time, goodbye.